Boom. Welcome back.
Okay. So do you want to get started?
Yeah, I think we left off with IG last time. Now we would jump to
H. Yes, and that's interesting. Oh, there's the echo that always starts in the very beginning.
That's so H powers.
H is one of the 8 powers.
And when the eight power comes together, it becomes H as whole.
Oh, right. It's kind of weird how we say it in English, like H.
Yeah.
There's quite a few sounds in there. H. H. You know, so clearly something's been done with that letter. Maybe we can. Yeah. Whether it's in the sound or something else. Is it something that's hidden, or that we know it to be ho and ho, or is it something new or a change that's hidden?
Yeah, it can be some alteration into English.
Yeah. Or exploring other languages would probably help also, you know, whether it's, you know, what it's...
When it's Swedish, it's ho, and Finnish is also ho. In German, it becomes ha.
That's not a big difference.
No.
Because German doesn't have the mark for ho.
It becomes ha. Ho, ha.
Yeah. But they don't use the mark, the
not the ring on the top.
Okay. So we have a couple root words that begin with IH.
Yeah, not so many.
Not too many.
Yeah. There is a lot of words that create combination words. Also.
Yeah. So that's going to add more perspective. What do you think about, but, you know, there's 0 words in English that start with IH. So there's not much to speak here, but finding that sound might be possible, but I don't think
there is just the basic simple mirroring is the mean saying hi.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Up.
Yeah, that also. We go so jump. And then you have he-man.
He-man.
Yeah. Because it switches in English, so it becomes difficult because the he word, ich word becomes the e, the e.
Right. So when I'm saying he and she, I'm not saying hi.
Yeah.
She, you know, it would be SHI, right? And it's still he, but with Sulin, like the energy.
Yeah.
And then you have in her G. So you have that, which is the women.
Yeah.
The men have the seed, and it is, you know, by planting the seed is the energy that, you know, forms the life. She.
Interesting.
Something like that. Share. The E. she. No, I don't know.
But when they are coming together, then we have the root word of ihop, which
Together.
leads us to be together. Yeah.
And then hoop, right, is a hula hoop, you know, a hoop, which is like completes the circle.
A hoop.
Hoop.
Okay.
Yeah. In English, it'd be H-O-O-P. Hoop.
H-O. With double
Like
P.
a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. In English, we have a hoop, like a hula hoop. You know.
Okay.
A hula hoop or hoop earrings.
Like a hoop hoodie. Not
Yeah.
almost the same. But also in root, we have when you add two P's, that becomes hop. And hop is either to jump or then it's hope. So we have e-hope. Not directly, but still.
Yeah, hope is a deep concept in of itself. English, hoop is just means ring.
Just means ring.
A circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it means e-hoop is together.
Yeah.
And if you're not in a ring, you're not together. I don't know.
But it's like there is the pole in the O and the hole of the I. When you hope from the reversed. Man and woman come ihop. Like when you're dating someone, you're together.
See? You're in the loop.
You're in the loop.
Loop, hoop.
Yes.
But you also get that sound in Finnish.
Which?
Ihu. Iho.
Yeah.
Which is also ihu, right? And if the O's are also oo.
Yeah.
And then the U's are also oo.
Yeah. In some way cases. Is that true?
We have them all over the place here. IHOP, 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 IHOP. International House of Pancakes. Which is a place people get together, you know, have breakfast.
For sure. That's a very good place for a date.
Yeah. So maybe just in their acronym is invoking the sound of ihu being together.
Yeah. Without knowing it.
Yeah. I find that to be true often. You know, that because when I'm listening to people's words now a lot more, being like kind of tuned in to the sound system and everything like that, I notice people tend to or like use words that have the same prefix or suffix of words that were already used in that conversation that seem unrelated, but it's like, you know, it draws these sounds out of people. And I notice it all the time, you know, in any conversation, completely unrelated, small talk, anything, you know, they're talking about politics or whatever. You can hear people, you know, rhyming or saying, even, well, when we say rhyming, we're usually saying like the end of the word rhymes with the, you know, hey, say, whatever. But sometimes it's also in the beginning of the word that is rhyming that you don't really hear as well unless you're like tuned into it. I think a lot of these ideas can, you know, just by speaking.
Yeah.
Cool. What is e-hope in Bonn?
Yhdessä. Yhdessä. It's based from yksi, which is one. And then yhden, which is once, ja yhdessä, the SSA makes the ownership into it. So it's like yhdessä is like in one. So like when you're together, you're in one.
Right. Well, that's almost the same meaning. Like together is two, and to gather.
Together.
We're gathering. And in root, it would be e hoop, like in a hoop, in a ring.
Yeah.
And this ring is formed by an e. So e hoop. And then in Finnish, e is also
Hoop. Not directly as hoop. It becomes more like hop is the next word. Hoppa, hoop. Yeah.
shop, hope, shop.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hop. All right.
But e-hoop works as a concept.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about then e-hog?
E-hog. That one has ho in it. Has hell.
Yeah.
Right there. Has it right there. And is also, whenever this this mark or sound is being invoked, it's also symbolizing the like rivers, streams, and also the
main
rivers
river of life.
And of life. So, e-hog. What you got on that? So that one translates to remember, recollect, to keep in mind.
Yeah. But that's also the G in it, in e-hog. Dead. When something is grounded, you remember it. So the is Ho river is grounded. E-hog.
Gotta remember that.
Perhaps.
Is there a direct translation in Finnish?
Muistiin is basic form is memory. When you come ihåg something, you take it from your memory.
Muista.
Muista.
Take them. Saturate.
Yeah.
Saturate your
mind. But if it has the it has a little bit of moist in it.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, remember. Member. Recollect. Recollect. That one's pretty straightforward. But member.
Yeah.
Bear. Remember. Meme would be like meme or mime or memory. Meme. Memory. And
bad is to carry something.
Yeah, to bear the burden.
Yeah. So you have memory, you have remember, you are carrying the mem.
Boom. I like that. That's good. Love it.
And then the mem itself is then again have to do with mone ek in middle. To have some kind of loop between the moon and the oak. Maybe we'll remember that when we come to me.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely will. That one's a huge one. That one's a huge one. And in fact, even there's going to be a couple. Oh, maybe not. I was going to say an IM, but yeah. So okay, so let's remember ihog, and then what's next?
Holy.
Iholi. A hole. That's
Because,
what. Well, whole and whole, like a whole, like a physical whole, and then feeling complete, like feeling whole, like wholesome. They come from the same basic concept of hell, of hope.
yeah, that could drive there. Also, because ihålig is the cone under the earth. The underworld is ihålig.
That is where humans in the Bock Saga became complete. It became their complete form, you know.
Yeah, that's the hole, that's the eye.
Right.
Because when we have the eye on the top, we have the hole where everything comes from, the holy hole. And under the holy hole, we have the subterranean chambers.
Right.
And the chambers is hollow.
Very hollow. Hollow.
Yeah.
Very
so it's
hollow.
The hollow. So it's the
Hollow. Yes.
low hole.
Eg would just be like ing in English, right? Like
the league ending is something that's like something. So it's ihålig, it's ihål.
Oh, so it's like the hole on the top of the planet at the top of the E.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of where in English we have the ing endings also. It seems to like kind of correlate. Liking.
But it's ning or ting or.
So
this may be like. Yeah.
True. So
that's something that we should also look into, these endings.
Yeah, they're a little tricky and they change, and they're, you know, especially in English, it makes it super confusing because they'll sound the same, but they'll have different spellings, like tion or sion or cion, and so you have like different spellings, but it's always shun.
That's the finesse of the details.
Yeah,
which we should also find.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, but it makes it easier to be able to go back into root and to really kind of see what it actually is. So,
yeah.
Back to the stem words, right? That's what we want to focus on, is more on these stem words than
finding these stem words.
Than every single leaf on the tree. Let's look at the branch where all these leaves come off of, you know.
Yeah. And then we come to E held.
E
held.
Oh, I don't have this one.
It's on A. It's something that's poured.
That's what?
Poured. Like you have E hella. E held is the past form.
E
to
held.
pour something.
Yeah. Okay. Like it was, you were holding it. Once you pour it out, you held it in past tense. It is no longer being holded.
So you hold it, inhale, and then when you have hold it, you have the exhale.
All right. Well, I see E Hollande.
Yeah.
E held.
To hold is then to grab it.
So E held does not have the the A with the ring above it, huh?
No, it has the A with the dots.
Hmm. That actually makes sense, because it would be like you have the waters, you have the rivers, but you use that water you pour it into the land.
Yeah.
So, you know, where it comes from. So that would be more agricultural, more
But it can also be when you pour your drink from the vase into the glass where you're gonna drink it from. So when you have poured it, you have E held.
Right.
And
That
then
makes
you
sense.
drink it.
A lot of it's so simple. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Like literally past tense. You held it. No, you know, you hold it, you pour it, and now you held it.
Yeah.
You held it, and you poured it in. E. In.
Yeah. Yeah, that's again an E held.
Yeah, so you're pouring it in.
Yeah. So I didn't put up more directly words for this language. We can change the other language.
Sure. I mean, there is Iholande and Ihardig.
But like Iholla is the to do it, and Ihollande is like the process of doing it.
Yeah. I'm getting well, Iholande, prolonged, continuous.
Ihollande. Ah. Yeah, because like it's holding on.
Right.
Yeah, it's in the process of holding on. Ihollande.
I love that it has onde.
Yeah.
Like you're holding your breath in the hall, in your, you know, chambers inside. So you hold it in, you breathe in and hold it. That's like, it's talking about the breath, but also onde, you're also talking about spirit. So it's it has this dual meaning of continuous, you know, and prolonged. That's pretty cool. I think it's a beautiful word.
Yeah.
And should skipped.
But ande in general, because it appears quite often in the end, so it can have something to do with repetition or something that's held on.
Sure. Well, that's what we do when we breathe. It is continuous, and yeah. Because breathing is an interesting thing, because we can actually control our breath. And we can't control all of the things about our body. A lot of things are based on feeling, but you can also not lose control of it, and it still happens.
Yeah, it's something that we can do instantaneously.
Yeah, we can take control of it, and there's a few things we can do that with, but mostly the breath is like kind of the biggest one that is automatic, and we can take control of it. Blinking, you can sort of, but not really, and it doesn't, you know, the main purpose of blinking is just to clear the eyes out, right? So it's not as holy. Yeah. Yeah. And then there is one more in root, which is ihardig, persevering, which then gives me another pair word. Erdig. Sorry, EHA2.RDIG.
Yeah.
Persevering. How do you say persevering?
Persevering. Ihardig. But dig when it's written, it's do, it's you. Also, had is here, or yeah. So in here you, had dig in the written format.
Right. Well, gave us another pair word, which I like. Pair always pops up everywhere.
Yes.
So it's very persevering. Okay, let's talk about Finnish IH. This is gonna be fun. I would like to just listen.
But it starts all with iho, which is the skin. You.
It's almost like, oh no, never mind. So yeah, we got first one I see is Ihan.
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 Yeah.
Ihan.
Quite like that. Quite. Something that's almost like something. It's Ihan.
Ihan. On is like on top of. Knowledge of the Osser. Knowledge Osser.
But Han is also he. But like in him, Han, if you split it up like that. But that's the difficult that if it's related or not.
Well, add another A at the end, Ihana.
Ah, are you Ihana?
Thank you. Kind. That means wonderful.
Yeah.
Lovely, beautiful, gorgeous. Oh.
Yeah, it can either be a personality trait or then it's more often personality trait than it's how it look like. But, yeah. Wonderful people.
Ideally, that's what it means. Ideally, that's what it means. When you go K. You know I'm in California. I know Spanish when I hear it. Okay. Ihane.
Ihane. That's your ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you think that basically is Ihana. That's your Ihane.
Yeah.
Almost, not completely,
but we're talking about this IH, which is hell, which is the idea, which is wonderful, which is, so now we're getting all these descriptive words of what it's like to be in hell. In Finnish, in Van, that are more than this more anatomical way, right? Like we got E-hoop, which is together. Now you have an E and a ring. So now you're just talking back to poles and holes with E-hoop. E-hole, you have, your E-hole, E-holy, it's all this reference to the places and the people and, the body.
Yeah.
But when you go and move into Vaughn, you're getting it's not anatomical as much. There are some anatomy words, but it's not, it's far more descriptive.
That depends also which language, like which word perspective we take. Like if we start to look for words which has to do with head, like with pää, then you find a lot of references, like many different which has to do with head. But with the other body parts, maybe not as much as in truth could be.
Well, I mean, wait, you're talking about you're gonna have to differentiate which language you're talking about, because you said other body parts, maybe not as much, but
you were talking about having in van, so I continued from that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, in Vaughn it's no, like like Ihan means like quite or right or just, right? And then you have like wonderful and sweet. Like these aren't words that are, what would be wonderful or sweet? What would be like equivalent in root to ihana, for example?
Ljuvlig.
Right. So hulig.
Ljuvlig. Like a jewel.
Oh, see, so it's still referring to how this Yule, how the yearly cycles. It's still referring to making people in that word, right? The Yule, when the Yule is complete, then you start, at the end of on Yule Day is close to around the time you have your festivals and choosing and things like that. So this is referring to this process, making the next cast. Whereas you move over to Vaughn, now you're getting more specific and descriptive and more individualistic of personality and extending the descriptions of everything, where it's not so like talking about making people all the time.
Now actually realizing ihan, you can also use this in some cases to define that it is like that. So like ihan varmasti is for sure. So ihan a is like for sure Acer. And if you're for sure Acer, then you are for sure. So it's a wonderful.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And or ihan ne. So now you're ne. What would be ne in root? Like
in Finnish, ne is day.
Is day?
The me, you, I, you, we, they.
Oh, they. Got it. Yeah. So it's still referring. It's either they're talking about, but there's this more this responsibility of making the people is a lot more when you're referring to the Osser.
Yeah.
And when you're referring to the Vaughn, there's that responsibility is separate. Is not as it's just kind of inherent. Anyway, that INH.
Also, when you're referring to Osser, then you're always referring to like A-class people, so to say.
Right.
That like if you want to behave good, then behave like an Osser.
Right.
And then you are ihana.
In hell.
Inhale.
Yeah. So describing what is in hell is is what's quite right and just, is wonderful and sweet, is ideal. Ihane.
It's together.
Yeah, and then you can continue adding on to that.
And then we come to the solution that it's all an ihme.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything of that is a miracle.
Yeah, and then we have other iha stella.
Yeah, but that's when you are admiring something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that makes a lot of sense, because now you're these are who they're admiring, right?
Yeah.
And where do we get admiring? Admiring, you had admiral, right? It's just a military rank, an admiral. Right? They're admiring.
Yeah.
Well, what are they admiring? The Osser. right? Or admiring whoever's in hell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's in hell. Iho has a lot to do with that. Like,
Okay.
you admire those in hell.
Yeah, we'll get there, huh? In a minute. Did you have other Finnish words, or do you want me to kind of say some?
Yeah, well, we're coming from ihme to ihminen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my IH kind of in these two languages is combining together to represent everything that's from wonderful to being together, ends up in being a human, a miracle.
That's a beautiful word, ihminen, because well, it means human.
Yeah.
But mean would be in like root would be like meaning or mind, and then n would be in, like like entering. So you're entering the mind in hell is where all the humans come from, or something like that. Using root to break up the word.
But me is me.
Right.
So in hell, me, nen.
We already talked about this. Me,
Yeah,
myself. Yeah. This is the same. You know,
yeah.
my mind is mine. My is me. These are not unrelated words.
No.
Ika and ihme.
Ika.
Ika.
Ihka.
Yeah.
Ihka ihana.
Ika ussi. No? Yes?
I didn't completely hear you.
Ika ussi. Ika aito Asia. Asia.
Ihka aito. Ihka is a little bit similar like ihan. Like ihka aito is something that's truly true.
This one's giving me a definition of like brand new. Ika ussi.
Ihka uusi, yeah. Uusi is something that's new.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like, so Ika would be like the real, genuine new, like the first of the new. Yeah. So you're saying how this sound for human, ihminen, is in the word Väinämöinen.
Yeah, the inen is in Väinämöinen. Because like the Väinä comes from the Vinö, the wine island. And then the mö is the daughter. And then the inen makes the people. Ihminen.
So I'm like, you know, we're looking at these IH words. I'm spending a lot of time on it. And there's only like, in my Swedish dictionary, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words. My Finnish dictionary, I got pages and pages and pages, right? Of course, they're like, you know, combination words, obviously. So we're like looking at these 4-letter words. But again, we're trying to look at these 2 letters. So when we're looking at the first 2 letters, and then we're putting, you know, first the first 3 letters was IHA, right? And then you have IHM, which we're talking about right now, right? That ihme, which is merit and not human, ihmenen, ihminen, and then ihme. It's all of the words seem to be describing what is going on in hell. But you can't say IH without another vowel to finish it. So it'd be like E.
Ich.
It doesn't. You have to have something follow it. So E me, right?
Yeah.
E me.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but all of them, now we got human, miracles, ideal, wonderful, just and right and quite right. It's building a much bigger picture of IH.
Yeah. You start to understand the concept through that.
And so
Concept.
like we're on E. We're on the first letter of 29 different sounds. Right? And as I've been looking at like the language and just like getting my mind blown every day, this isn't just a coincidence. After it happens constantly throughout both languages, and these same motifs, right? And so what I struggle to describe is that it's easy to say the root language is very anatomical, it has to do with children making and the characters involved in that system.
Yeah.
And involved in the children making. And delivering information is also important in the idea of children making. Also, and etc. And that's pretty straightforward, right? Now we get to Vaughn, and it's very. This is where I struggle to really describe what it's just trying to describe, but
that's because it's difficult to do that when it's the root is where you really describe things. In the one, you need to start to understand the connections.
Yeah, it's much more mystical, or it's very it's poetic.
Yeah, that also. Yeah.
It's like it's a beautiful way of describing the same concepts, and whereas when we get to English, it's more practical.
Probably, yeah. It has to be practical for the purpose that it's created. It has to be practical.
Yeah, it's more of just like it's summing up these other concepts and kind of mixing them up, where you have anatomy built into it, you have more poetic built into it. You also have more straightforward, logical. I don't know how to describe it, but it's it's described as the money language, the trading language, the sharing language, or whatever. The way to communicate the best. And yeah, so I'm having fun going through all the work, right? Because we're gonna be, I don't know. I just think it's beautiful, and especially in Finnish. Is this language is.
When we get to the point that we can understand these Finnish combinations as self-evident, then we're far.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird things happening with the vowels.
Yeah.
But it's happening at the end of the word. So changing a lot. So it's figuring out, like, I think it's just 2-letter combinations almost every time in Finnish.
2 or 3, depending on. Like nen is a 3 combination, 3 letters.
Yeah.
And
is that third letter just giving perspective to the first 2? That's what I'm saying. Like that we got the IH words, and there's, we haven't even finished them, honestly. So because we got iho, which is skin.
Yeah.
That's a 3-letter word.
3 different or 2 different combinations.
Yeah, it's not just skin. It's like complexion. right? It's not just skin for skin. It's
but when we disassemble it into root meanings and from the reversed, we have orden her I.
Right.
So our skin is the sun whole in.
And what's skin and root?
Skin, shin.
Oh, okay.
Or hue, like hue, depending on what.
That's where I think the word human also comes from. It's not just Hanun's man, but a huge man.
Yeah. And the skin is a kin. The sun kin.
Yeah, which would, you know, like if a king is making the kin.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're more kinned to someone with the same skin.
Yeah.
Also.
And the skin, the S comes from the O, and the O is the O, the iho. So both in the iho, you have the Oden, and the skin, you have the sun.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I skip? I think I skipped though to iho. But do you have any what do you have to say about this idea of like what the Finnish language is? Did I do an okay job just kind of saying I said I don't really, you know, even ihra is lard, which is also a part of the skin.
Yeah. But the ra of the skin.
Right.
So one is the Oden and one is the ra.
The raw, R-A-W, like raw.
No, like ra, like the moon. Yeah. But lard. But that's actually a very interesting perspective, because the hue is the skin, and that's the Oden, the one you see, and the ihra is the fat underneath, which you don't see.
Right.
Because you don't see the powers of Ra, you only see the powers of Oden. Like all the Ra is invisible.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Except for their results, but. So you want to tell me how you think about this on the English side?
I don't have anything for IH on the English side. Yeah, I mean, everything would be like combination words. Yeah, there's literally like no words. Livelihood.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. You know, pantyhose. As an IH, you know?
Yeah, so it becomes the in-between words then, yeah.
Yeah, bi-hourly. It's not it's not there are no English words. So it would just be it would just be the translation words.
Yeah.
But like you said in the beginning, you do have HI, which is high, you know.
Yeah.
And now we have history. You know, we have
now we have a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so then getting into, you know, hiccups and you know, I don't know. So
let's say hi and see you later to that then.
Yeah. Or even like oh, never mind. I was gonna say spelling wise there's some other stuff, but there's also a lot of CH, TH, you know, thin, chin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not making that, you know, his, him.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of HI, but not IH.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ihanaa.
Yeah.
So how about EJ?
Okay.
JI. IJ.
IJ. I'm not going to have too much here either.
No. This is again, maybe it goes more into the in-between words. It's like the only, I don't really use this word, but in Swedish word, the eons, which is like a short moment ago. But it's more like Swedish toned. I don't really use it.
Yeah.
But then if we look into middle words, we have like lion is lejon. And then we have the place of Fiji. In these Fiji languages, there is also, they use much more this combination. And in one, we have words, names like Maya, who have the combination in it.
Yeah, sound-wise, there's also not much in English. There's quite a few Arabic words. You know, you got hijab.
Ah, yeah.
Or hijack. Or even frijole, you know, which is beans. In Spanish. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have anything. Oh, marijuana.
But that's again Mary and Johan.
Yeah. Okay.
Combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is maybe like we have in Finnish words or names which use the IJ combination.
Oh, okay.
But not so much like words, I suppose.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of the other way around. Ji.
Yeah.
You know, jinx or
jive.
Yeah, jive. Nice. Yeah. I don't know.
So not so much about i jarlar. Jarlar i. The whole rhyme itself is i jarlarnas skallarnas lags.
Right.
So one would suppose that something that's EJ has to do with something that the Jarls do, but seems that they don't do so much.
Yeah. It's
They just come in between somewhere.
Yeah, that's telling. Oh, I lost my headphone. I think I lost my
Completely? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? There you go. I can hear you now.
Now better?
Just like, I'm dead. Okay. Yeah, let's just skip IJ, or not skip it, but there's not much to say. Maybe that is something to say about the Jarls as far as what they're responsible for is not much. Kind of like the middleman, you know, they're the upper middleman, you know, like what?
But it's the complete middleman of the 5 classes. He's in the middle.
Yeah,
that's where you find IG.
That's important enough to be the middleman of the whole. The same thing, right? Like it's funny because I have like a food place, and then we have a lot of like delivery drivers. So the drivers don't make the food nor eat the food. They just take it from here to there. They don't do much. There's not much skill involved with that.
Yeah.
All right. IK.
Yeah. In the mirror, it should be the key. Eek. Like in sound wise, we say eek if you become like shocked or scared of something.
Yeah. Eek. Eek. Yeah. But as far as words, we got ekop.
Ekop. Yeah.
Ekop.
Yeah. That's when you reach something. You have E and then you cap it. Catch it.
Yes, to catch. Caught.
Cap.
Caught.
Cap.
So this would be like when you are holding and then you held. It's past tense. You held it. And this one would be like, I caught it, which is I caught it.
Yeah, it's I caught.
Caught.
But that's I caught. It's I caught in a way. I reached to you. I got you. I caught you.
It's also cap in English. It would be like you to like cap something.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. In that sense, yes.
Yeah.
It's
or the cap.
Almost the same, but the cap, yeah. Yeah.
Or cap. Cap.
But then the E cup is it that it's in the cup.
Right.
You cap it, but when you have capped it, you have E cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a cup.
Yeah.
Nice. So this must have to do is it Oleaser Carl E. So putting something in the cup. Sure you catch every one of them.
Similar tone is also in the word "e-kled". E-kled is like kled is kläder is clothes. So e-kled is in clothes, which means you're dressed.
Oh, clad.
E-kled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In English, it would be like to be clad. Like when you put on your armor or something, you're clad. You're ironclad.
Ah.
Yeah. Or yeah, you could be ironclad, or you can be clad.
Okay.
Just cloth clad.
Yeah, cloth clad.
No, but clad is to be. Yeah. That's
clad in clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have that one in here, but nice. Nice. And we got ikval.
Ikväll.
Val. Ikval.
Kväll. Kväll.
Fail. Fail.
Ikväll. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is evening, tonight.
Tonight, yeah. And there is kväll in itself is evening.
Word.
Okay.
This one's a genuine IK. Because you have fail. Right?
Yeah, you have E and then you have kväll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which would be a Q word.
Kväll is an evening in itself.
Yeah.
Q.
Wouldn't that be a Q? Quell? I'm finding
maybe it has a little bit tone of it.
Actually, a Q.
Yeah. Because then again, if it's a Q word, then the kväll. Because the Q anyway, it divides everything into 4 pieces. And one of the 4 pieces in a day is the evening.
Yes.
So that may be, it can be something related to Q.
And it has the sound is referring to something agriculturally. like important, something to do with the you know, the angle of the sun throughout the day, of, you know, kind of how to live your day through the day. Val, which is also close to Val. No?
It's close to well, like I'm well,
Yeah.
because it's val, it's well, it's well.
Why IK? Why E? Oh, I guess it would just be in Val. Okay.
Yeah.
Val. In Vale. Vale. A
In,
veil is also like a bride puts her veil over, you know, and then like lifts it when they get married. You know, that's the veil. So it's kind of like this shade. The
the
you know,
way there.
yeah. So it's like the veil. You know, like you can kind of
Yeah.
see through. So that's also evening time.
Mm-hmm.
The veil, the shroud is being, you know, isn't fully the sun, the light is dimming, so it's like it's being veiled.
In
Veil.
the yeah, I'm stuck on this agricultural idea. Because you say whale it when you have done well your day, then you have on your quill.
Mhm.
And then you have also this slate of whale getting both combined into it. New
You know,
thinkings on this word.
huh?
New thinking on this word, the evening itself.
Yeah, you know, this is the most important part of our day is where the sun is. It dictates when we wake up, when we go to
Yeah,
sleep, how we live our lives, and everything, right?
yeah,
And so, uh, and the angle of like the light, for example. I mean, if we're going back to paradise, when this was constructed, it would
yeah,
be perpetual Ikval, Ikvel.
yeah.
But also, what's it for morning time or like dawn? What's the word?
Because if you say
Talking
morning
about
is morgon,
four. You're saying there's four because if
I
this
was
is a
thinking
there's four. Evening is one of them. What are the other ones?
one is morning, one is day, and one is afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Well, nighttime.
Yeah, and night. Day
But
and night, evening and morning.
if we're talking about Udenma, right? And you have this perpetual
Yeah,
evening and morning at this the okay. So like if you go out in the morning time and you hit first sunlight and you look at the sun, first sunlight, and you feel it on your skin, it's a different feeling than the sunlight in the evening time. It's
of course.
different light. It's a
Very
different
much.
light.
Different energy.
Imagine is in um now this is my own thing, but
Yeah.
I think it's valid because uh in perfect conditions of perpendicular perpendicular conditions, you're getting both kinds of light at the same time all day, always,
Yeah. You should have day all the time.
in all ways,
Yeah.
all the ways. So it's going around, you're getting the morning sunlight and you're getting the evening sunlight, but it's
Yeah.
never directly overhead.
Yeah.
And but it's always these perfect, because when we wake up in the mornings and we wake up at first sunlight, um that kind of light is signaling to our bodies to have different things start happening subconscious, and you know, our circadian rhythm, they call it, you know, circadian, which is circle. You know, it is a cycle. It is this cycle that our bodies live on. We go to sleep, we wake up, and we're on this cycle. It's with the sun. That's why we give everything to the sun. And we're covered in we have our cells that all react to this circadian rhythm. And so this evening time
it is important to have a word for it, but I don't understand why, or I guess I do, but I would want to know, combining this idea of a veil, and morning, these two lights combined make what the sun and the skies were like in paradise at the top of the pole.
But in the paradise in the middle at the equator, you have still the day and the night in the normal sense.
Yeah, but this language isn't from there. But the language isn't from then. From there.
Yeah, the language is then generated here on the top. But if you're generating it here, you understand what is happening around.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
And then if you go to the border of Udema, you already start a little bit maybe feeling the difference. Not necessarily, but like, because the 100% is at the 100% top. But if you go 125 kilometers away from the top, it's a little bit changing already. And so on.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. But maybe when we come back to Kväll, we have understand what is the whale.
Yeah, I think there. But I like what you said, that it's split into 4, right? And so that would be 4 6-hour time periods: 6 hours of evening, 6 hours of nighttime, 6 hours of morning, and 6 hours of daytime. 24 hours.
Yeah. Because when we come to EM, we come to in the morning, but imorgon is tomorrow's morning. Ikväll is today's evening. So there is a little bit of change also in that how you understand or represent it.
I think there's something to this idea, though, like, because of how the sunlight, because we're talking about E, which is specifically about this place also, right? We haven't gotten to the man's E perspective on all of these words, which it has both. Often.
Yeah, but it can be a man or a female also.
Right, male or right.
That's even deeper thinking, that which one are we talking about?
Yeah, I definitely misspoke there, but there's meaning as part when we're talking about this evening or tonight, right? It's also I wonder when the act happened, like say on a Midsummer Day, right? On Midsummer Day, on Johanna's Day, it would be because what time of day would it happen?
Well, they have their dances. I don't know when they have their dances either, because it starts with making up the dances, having this celebration. And after the dances, the women start to leave, and then the men continue to dance. And then how far do they dance? How late do they dance before they go and look for the women?
I think it happened in Ikväll. Because veil is val also, like it's also similar to val, but now you're doing your dances, and I have your bed of flowers, and it's in an ang, and this is when you got your angle and the angels. I think this word is also saying that.
Yeah. So you get laid tonight?
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's also kind of nowadays word that you use.
Close the blinds and put the veil over the windows so no one's peeping in, because this is a private time now. Yeah, I think so. I think so, because after the act, you want to go to sleep. you use your energy and things like that. So after anyway, I think so. I don't know.
There is some logic in it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say for sure, but anyway, that's a thing. Something to note and ask maybe Michelle or someone and you to explore together. Okay. What about in Vaughn? A lot of IK.
But we have one maybe significant word also in English, which is icon, which is ikon, the icon itself.
Yes.
It's also an iko, un.
Yeah.
And here we have been thinking also how the cone is, how the kun is. What has to do with icon and my cone.
Yeah, because we what is it? Didn't we do icon? Isn't that in root that would be something else, right? What is it? It's like didn't we? What's the root word for icon?
Icon, but with a K.
Yeah, I know. Is it in root?
When we talk about icons, we always you typically maybe more talk about these kind of icons that you have about religious perspectives or these kind of figures.
Yeah, very similar to idol.
Yeah, very similar to idol, yeah.
Econ. That's fine. It's interesting. My it doesn't even list that word here. I guess it's apparent. But
it's okay. So the one side.
Yeah. But again, that cone, the cone, that's usually is referring to the head. I'm finding that almost all of our cone words are referring to the head and the head, both heads.
Yeah.
But like consciousness or conceive or conspire or congregate, right? We're all of these are referring to things happening in the head or about the head or either head.
Yeah.
And an icon is someone that we like look up to. That's a nice face or head. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, let's do.
So we have many different ways of looking at one here.
Yes, and what's interesting is we didn't have too many Jarl words, IJ.
No.
But now we're starting to get into the where you have a lot more people with things they want to get done, I guess, something like that. Carl's also it's a very central letter in the wheel.
Yeah.
In the alphabet clock, it's centrally located, and I think we determined that it's pointing to the E, the A, the letter E, and to what else is it pointing to? To J, right?
It connects, yeah.
Yeah, it connects to J, and it's connected to up and goes up and divides the ring. So this is
but there is also in the core word, because like it's color, it's meaning, but it has the core, and the core itself has some deeper meaning apart from being color. And like the core has some specific deeper meaning which usage I'm not so familiar with, but it could be that some of these words has to do with that combination also. So like we had ho is the river, then we have ko, which has to do with then other forces of the o sound.
Well, I think we can maybe try to figure it out by looking at Vaughn with these IK words, because what is happening in the Carl?
What are they up to now?
Yeah, what are they up to? What are they
acting characters?
How are they viewed as the part of society that they are part of, and civilizations, and yeah, ikoni.
Ikuinen, ikkuna. Here is some very basic words is iki and ika, because from that you can switch into deeper words quite much, especially iki. Like iki is something that's forever in its basics,
which is key.
Yeah.
So I backwards. Key. Yeah. This is the key.
Yeah.
And the letter key is like a key.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which direction you look at, it's always the E key.
Right. E key.
E key.
E key. The key is the E.
Yeah.
The E is the key. So yeah, that means forever. That's interesting.
And then, for example, we have iki na. And then we add the na, it becomes like never. Like iki na, when iki is forever, but when you add na in the end, it becomes never.
Nah.
And then we have iki nen. Like you can say joka ikinen, which means everybody. So you have iki and nen, then it becomes everyone. And then you have also iki oma, and oma is your own. So iki oma is like very much your own.
E key. I mean, you can take that, and that is forever, right? You know, it's funny because we were actually talking about someone had questions about reincarnation. And if you want to reincarnate yourself, well, I am a reincarnation of my father.
Not necessarily. Maybe in one way, but not in every way necessarily.
The other way would be my life was in the seed, in the fruit.
Yeah.
And then and then I turn into carne, the meat. Yeah. Right? Reincarnate. And then also in the car.
Yeah.
Right? The car class also. Right? So we're being turned into our meat sacks that we are today. From the seed. So we are the reincarnation of the seed.
Yes.
Something like that. And that and by it does happen over and over and over. Right? And it doesn't happen without the key.
Yeah.
Of the E.
Yeah, and I would understand that, let's say the key, so to say, because in Saga the reincarnation process has to do with Valkyria and Fylgia.
Yeah.
So when your soul dies, you go to the ground, and then you raise up as Fylgia, then you travel the world, and then you find your Valkyria, and then somebody breathes in your Valkyria, and then it turns into seed in your brain, and then it comes out, and then you reincarnate.
Yeah.
So then even if it's the seed which is generated in your brain, that comes from your father. Your father generates the seed, so he gives some part of his DNA into it. But the seed or the ande or the breath or the Valkyria which goes into your brain, that may have some other thing. It may be some reincarnation from who knows who.
Right.
And that
But
gives
the
the possibility for reincarnation.
Yeah.
Because that's also in the Buddhist tradition where you search for the next Dalai Lama. You're basically searching for who got the Valkyria of the previous, in a way.
But yeah, by having two of these different concepts, it's not the same combination of ande and soul every time. But so it's almost like there's multiple aspects to reincarnation.
It's not a simple thing.
I also like I do like the idea of that I have already reincarnated myself in my children, but so has my wife. So as my grandfather and great grandfather has also reincarnated himself in me.
Yeah. That's kind of the sample seed that Frey has given the seed to everybody.
Right.
When you go farther away, far away.
Yeah. Iki.
But this is very interesting that you take the Iki, that the concept of everything being in key spiral.
Yeah. We got Ikioma.
Yeah.
Did I do it better?
Ikioma.
Okay. Look at me. Which is very own, your very own.
Yes.
Like Okay.
Maybe one more forever word or Iki word is ikuinen. And
yes,
ikuinen is then completely something that is forever.
Yes. There's this one too is overjoyed, blissfully happy. It sounds similar. I thought this is the one you were gonna say, but it's Ikionielinen. Dang it.
That was a little bit difficult. Iki. Okay, go.
No, you do it.
Iki. On. Ne. Li. Nen.
Yeah.
Right.
Iki on ne linen.
Yes. Then just fast and together.
Linen. Iki on ne linen. No.
That's also onnellinen, starts from onni, which is luck. So when your onni turns to onnea, you wish good luck. When your onni is onnellinen, then you're happy. So this is the place where luck and happiness comes together.
You know, I think this is like another, also, you know, with this Finnish, the Finnish language, when I see these words, I only think in, not I only think in, but like I see root words that don't have the meaning they do in Von.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Iki, but Von, knowing the Von tells you where to separate the sounds.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit of that. But then like there's, you know, I don't know where I was going with that, but it is interesting looking at the words in that perspective, right?
Sure.
Because right next, which I'm sure you're about to say, is the iku words. Iku.
Iku.
You know, yeah. So now you're bringing in the moon, right? The Q, also.
Ah, yeah, you're doing that.
So like here's ikuna.
Yeah.
Right.
Ikuna, yeah. But that's ikku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have the IK,
Yeah.
the ik, and then you have kuna, which is knowledge of the moon, and then it just means window.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like, why is it a window? I think this actually kind of goes back to what are we looking at? Equal. Equal. Yeah, equal. That now it's this evening and tonight, and now you have ikuna, which is the moon is referring to the evening time as well. No? Yes?
Yeah, it can. It has the host spin in it.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
but there is some point which we're like flowing into.
Yeah, there's also curtain drapes. It does have to do with this window, and this idea of a window, window.
Well, yeah, like I'm getting the feeling that because iki is something that goes on, and then the ku changes time, and then na is the knowledge. When you look out the window, you can see all the switches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like forever seeing out of the house and seeing different turns and switches. Because if you don't have the window, you don't see that.
Well, what was the I know like during at least during ice time, the window was very significant for raising children, right?
But that's not yet the window. That was a plug in the.
Oh.
Yeah, but still same concept.
Yeah, so I think maybe this concept of a window, a physical window in a room like behind me, is much newer than this idea of a window, of being able to see through, and when you're looking at a window, you're not seeing everything. You're looking at something. You're being more specific.
Yeah.
So you don't look at the moon and the sun at the same time.
But this story which you were taking up, it's a good example of window.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in this story, when you have the springtime, and the springtime has to do with the circulation of the forever turning circle of life. So then you have this special window which you see your sun, but it's like a moon phase because it's the one moon specific where you want to see that.
Yeah. I was also thinking like how like ku is also the letter Q. And just because it's in Von as moon doesn't always mean it's just it the idea of the moon is representing other ideas, other logic, other quadrat.
Maybe there is something like that also in it. Because also you have this more like meaning of window, like you have a window of opportunity. You have a window of like the windows on your computer. So like the window itself is not necessarily only the physical window, but it's also the moment of something happening.
Yes. Yeah, if you're looking at it as something back in time, you look through the window of your imagination to kind of put yourself there. And but you're not there, so you're looking through the window.
Yeah.
No, so you're not actually present in the going on of what you're viewing through this window.
Yeah. And then it also supports the concept of iki, where you can just look at window, some part of window history.
Right? That you can always have the key to look through the window, but also the concept of the moon itself is a reflection of the sun.
Yeah.
You know, so it's already like from a different perspective. The moon's perspective is not the actual sun's perspective, kind of thing. So I had it in my mind. It did not come out as good as how I was viewing it in my mind's window. But I don't know how to say it better, but you know, the concept of the rays reflecting off the moon is also like a window.
Yeah.
I like it. And now I actually see the word you were saying, ikuinan, ikuinan, which is eternal, everlasting, perpetual, pair.
Yeah. But there is iki, it's transferred to iku. They're basically the same meaning, but they are, again, the grammatical changes a little bit meanings.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier too. When we start getting the three letters, the vowels can change, but we're still talking about ik.
We're still talking about iki.
Yeah.
And then we have one more, maybe at least from my side, is ika.
Yeah.
Which is then age, or like how old you are, or how age something is. So it's a measurement of iki is ika, basically.
Yeah.
When iki is without boundaries, ika is when you boundary it.
Right. That also, you know, we just have such a twisted idea of what agriculture, or this concept of the is, with today's perspective. But it's like working with the nature.
Yeah, that was agriculture should be.
Just plowing fields and raising cattle. It's not just that. It is the interaction with the, you know, it is our interaction with the land, you know, and it can be kukoikani. It could take your whole life, all my life, right?
That's your key.
Yeah. Kokoikani. Kokoikani. All my life.
Kokoikani, yeah.
I think this dictionary is actually is for Finnish speakers.
It could be if it's England, yeah, first, yeah.
Speakers rather than English speakers, but
so but it's better to have the word book in the target language. Like when I started to see how I can understand Danish, I choose a Danish dictionary because then you immerse into the language itself also at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I have so many more Finnish words here listed, because it's like this anyway.
Yeah.
Times they have like the same, you know, I see like there's a whole bunch of different ways to say things in English that you know apply to each one. You know, I see immortalized, eternally, eternal, everlasting, perpetual, unending, unceasing, without end, ceaselessly, and it's just like, you know, you can go on and on, but Iki.
Yeah, everything is derived from Iki.
Yeah. All right.
That's very interesting about that language, that you have this small word and then you can brrrrum.
Yeah. Right. And I got age group, peer, year of life. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the English ones because it's just confusing, the idea of.
Maybe we can take a little bit of the English ones and then we call it a day.
With some of these, let's see what I got. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Oleiki onnellinen.
There's not too many. Like in English, you get them combining the sounds combined into words. So of eat. So you got sick, seek, and it's seek. Yeah. You're seeking something.
Yeah, that's the sound, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, seek, eat, seek. We also have a lot of English words that end in IC, which is ik, eek, ik. You can apply it. It's an ending word though. It's an ending sound. So semantics or some eccentric or alcoholic means you are this thing, almost like you have good energy. You're energetic.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is the mathematic tick tick.
Yeah. In that one.
Because you're alcoholic, you're doing alcoholics.
Yeah, but it's not always TIC. So you have like oh gosh, now you're challenging me. Geometric.
Yeah.
So it just means it's like it's it's like a part of the said thing. You'd be satanic.
But geometric is anyway, you have metric in itself.
When you specify something, or when you're the person specifying something, you're being specific.
Yeah.
Right. But this is it. It's
but
not
that's
so much.
eek.
So eek. Yeah. It's not so eek.
Yeah.
Right.
It's more like I see, like written at least.
So we got reek, which is or peak, when you're peeking at something. You have someone who's like right now we're geeking out on sound system. We're geeks. The days of the week.
Week, yeah. Actually, yeah, here we should look for the sound, maybe. Because if we look for the I letter in English, we don't find necessarily anything, but we should look with the E letter.
You mean we should seek?
Yes, that's what you're seeking now.
Yeah. I mean, there's that. The sound is very, 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 very common as far as ending in words. I don't. Creak, cheek, sleek, reek, leak. I mean, I could go on forever.
That is fun,
I don't. Greek.
Seek.
But I'm not. I struggle with the J and K the most as far as breaking words down, because I don't think maybe I have as robust an understanding of the Jarl and the Carl's roles, duties, ways of life, and their stories as much as I have of the Bock Saga, of the Bock family, of the pirouette and the rosette. The rosette. you know. So when I start getting down to these, I'm a little more lost when breaking the words down, using the sound of, you know, specifically with the K and the J's.
Yeah.
I think I'd be much better at making the connections with most of the other sounds. For me personally, I don't know. I don't know.
But they
really
are also more self-explaining themselves. Like the sun explains itself quite much. The author explains author quite much.
Right. And whether all of these words are sounding this way because of how they're spelled, or are they sounding this way because they've always sounded this way and now we're spelling them in a way to describe the sound. So that's why it gets really confusing in English. And that's why you would need to see if these sounds of any of these words, I mean, if you can translate in your brain as fast as I can say all these words, and you're like, that sound is in the root language or in Von language, then we can get somewhere with it. So maybe I'll start reading off some words, and you tell me if that sound is in the translated word, and you can do it in your brain in real time. You know, we got weak, or weak, like weak, like not strong.
Oh yeah, you can be weak or have a week.
Right.
You can have a week.
Yeah, the thing is that's probably an astrological, a more of an astrology word in English, because English has really absorbed a lot of astrology words. But like in week, the weekend, right? We feel weaker during the week.
Yeah.
And that ends, and so we regain all of our strength on like a Sunday, right? Something like that. And so there's like these, you know, you let loose on a Saturday, you know, and you know, so there's this feeling that isn't just because we have these 40-hour work weeks, Monday through Friday and stuff like that. There's I feel like that was probably something that was always happening. So, and you know, there's also this idea of, this might actually be a good rant. The author have all the time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can build upon civilization and keep it going in this natural way.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't the pressure of, I mean, I guess there was a lot of pressure of getting things done in a timely manner and stuff like that. But, you know, and things happen in specific ways. Maybe for the Carl class, it was more on a weekly basis, right? And things were happening in a faster pace, right? When you get down to the trail class, it's like daily. Got to figure out, and then something like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Because then the Jarl becomes the monthly work, and then the Rosette becomes the yearly work, and the Pirouette becomes the icky work.
Right, and then now we're talking about era work. Yeah. So the time frame of, say, Lemminkainen would be like 50 years.
Active time, yeah.
You know, and then then we have yearly, Jarly.
Oh, that's also there hidden.
And then you have weekly.
Yeah.
And then you have daily. Okay. I don't know. I mean, trail's not even in the sound system. I mean, not in the sound. I mean, in the alphabet.
Not directly. But on daily, it's D. You have letter D in the day.
Yeah.
Because the day is about the D, about the drink.
Right.
And in the saga, you still have the weekly period also, where you always have on the Saturday is the sauna day.
Okay.
So the sauna is again one process in the D thing. And then I didn't know what happens when you go into monthly stage at this idea, but But on monthly stage, you then have the yearly rituals. Like you have a month of the year, which is the honeymoon month. You have the 1 month time before that, which is the preparation for the honeymoon. And then you have the little bit earlier, the festival month. And
I'm going to call it Yarly from now on. I'm going to say it till it sticks. Cheek.
Cheek, yeah. Cheek.
Cheek. What's cheek? Kind. Keen.
Keen.
Keen. Yeah?
Keen.
All right.
Keen. Chinned.
Cheek.
It's pronounced chinned, yeah.
Chin.
Yeah.
Chin.
It's those Shara words again.
Okay. So not that one. It also makes me think of the French word chic. Like real nice, like chic. You also have the sheiks, which is I think a Islamic. Or no, Hindi. That's a Hindi. The sheiks. It's a people. The sheik. No.
The sheik.
Yes. Yeah, the sheiks. Yeah, they're the. I'm not going to go all the stereotypes.
And then you have the Cherokee in your place.
The share of your key. The share of key. The share of the key.
Sharing the key.
Yeah, and then you also have the Greek. Greek. Greece. Greek. Okay, let me see if I have any IK, like straight up IK in English. What do we got? Like. Dike. Bike.
Yeah, bike.
That one doesn't count. Oh, we have tyke. A tyke is like a kid.
Tyke.
Tyke in English is like a kid. It's like a TYKE. It's a variant. It's a small boy.
And then you have
any small.
tickle.
Huh?
Tickle.
Tickle. Yeah. But we have tyke. Tyke is like yeah, it's an old word for sure. Tyke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. But hey, clock is coming for me. I should move to next place now.
Okay.
So maybe we should call it an Iki. Have a key, or you wish to say something more?
Strike. Striking, a lightning strike.
Yeah.
A spike.
Spike.
A dike is almost like a dam. Or no, it's like a dike is like a what is a dike?
It's called dike.
Okay, there you go.
In Finnish, it's oja, like the ditch.
Like. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, icon. Yeah. I mean, the spike would be basically like a lance or a club. Spike, something to poke something with.
Yeah.
I think that's good. We can end on IK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost
IL's
again, almost 2 hours.
IL's big. IM and IN is pretty much the majority of the I word.
Very much.
Then ice. And
I guess a long way.
There is a couple IV words that are going to be interesting to go into. And IV is an interesting ending because there are no English words that end in IV without an E. We always put an E at the end of IV in English.
Yeah.
Other than there's like a few words like improv or like rev your engines or anyway. So we'll get there next time. And if you have more time today or this evening, let me know.
Yeah. Now I just need to change place, so all is good.
Okay.
Thank you again for this day and see you later. Peace.
Okay.